I will read the verse today. When Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" He asked this only to test him, for he already had in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, "It would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread, each one to have a bite." Another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "Here is a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish. But how far will they go among so many?" Jesus said, "Have the people sit down." There was plenty of grass in the place, and they sat down. About 5,000 men were there. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they want. He did the same with the fish. When they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, "Gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with the pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who had eaten. We talked about Jesus healing a paralyzed person last week. Today is a very famous miracle story. Let's take a look at stories for today. As we shared last week, when Jesus showed the miracles of healing many sick people, thousands and thousands of people are following Jesus to see and experience the miracle. People who followed Jesus became hungry, and Jesus knew this, and he called Philip among his disciples. And Jesus said to Philip, "Philip, where can you get bread for these people?" In fact, Jesus already knew where to get the breads. Jesus had a plan already. But Jesus was testing Philip's faith by what he answered to Jesus. Then Philip, who was very smart, quickly calculated and answered to Jesus, "It would take more than a half year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." If we assume average one man earned $50 per day, 1 month will be about $1,500. So half of a year's wage is gonna be around $9,000 to $10,000. So now Philip's answer means, "We can't buy bread because we don't have such money." But then another disciple, Andrew, who was listening to the conversation between Jesus and Philip, said, "Hey, Jesus, here are 5 small breads and 2 small fish brought by a boy. But how would you feed so many people with us?" Andrew brought the 5 small breads and 2 small fish that boy was carrying to share. But neither Philip nor Andrew thought it was impossible to feed so many people with what they had. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Have the people sit down." There were 5,000 adult men. Probably if all the women and children who were there were combined together, there should be about 20,000 people. Jesus prayed to God and told them to give out 5 breads and 2 fish in the basket. But something strange happened. No matter how much bread and fish were distributed, bread and fish continued to come out from the basket. Many people, including the disciples there, and bread and fish to make them full. Then Jesus said, "Gather up the leftover fragments, that nothing may be lost." So when the disciples collected the remaining bread and fish, people ate and left 12 large baskets. Wow, this is an amazing miracle story. But there is something we need to remember. Why did Jesus do this miracle? Wouldn't it be more comfortable if Jesus had the ability to show miracles like this instead of distributing breads to this large number of people, just simply commanding to people, "You guys will be full"? Isn't it much easier to feed them? Jesus is telling us something more important through this miracle. Do you remember the question that Jesus first asked while testing Philip? Jesus asked Philip where he could get the bread. So, what should Philip's answer suppose be? Of course, he have to answer something like this. You can purchase in the market over there. Right? Jesus asked where to buy bread. But Philip doesn't answer where he can buy it. He counts the money first. It was not his first priority to answer Jesus' question. Philip thought it was impossible to buy bread because without money, he couldn't get bread or anything. But I will ask you guys a question. When Jesus asked Philip where he could buy a bread, I said Jesus tested Philip, right? What do you think Jesus expecting answer from Philip? Guess the answer. In the end, where did disciples get the breads and fish to feed all these people? Was it from market? Where was it? It was from Jesus. Even if the little boy brought 5 breads and 2 fishes, actually Jesus fed them all, right? Jesus expected Philip to answer like this. The bread that can feed these many people is only available from Jesus, you. I have no money and I have nothing, but not just bread. I can get everything from you, Jesus. The bread can save people can only obtained from you. Because you are the Christ and Son of living God. That's what Jesus actually expecting from the Philip. At the end of John chapter 6, Jesus makes a new promise. Let me read John chapter 6 verse 35. I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger, and whoever believes in me shall never thirst. Who is bread of life? Jesus said, it's me. Jesus said, He is the bread of life. It is saying that if we go to Jesus, we will never be hungry and we will never be thirsty. But it doesn't mean that we don't have to eat or drink anything anymore. When we eat and drink, Jesus means those who believe in Jesus will receive true joy and true satisfaction which worldly people cannot have. Worldly people means people who doesn't believe Jesus. Only in Jesus we can find the bread of life that can truly satisfy us. The money to purchase the bread of life has already been paid off for you at the cross. I hope you believe in Jesus' promise that our souls will find real satisfaction that will never be hungry or thirsty. God bless you. 먼저 10월 셋째 주 준비물을 꺼내주시기를 바랍니다. 자, 이 사용법과 호떡 잼 믹스와 호떡 믹스 재료가 들어있죠. 그리고 그 인스턴트 건조 이스트도 붙어 있어야 합니다. 오늘 말씀이 오병이어의 기적이었던 것처럼 생명의 떡이신 예수님을 상징하는 이 빵, 호떡을 저희가 함께 만들어 보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 여러분이 준비하셔야 할 것은 이거는 식용유고요. 그리고 약 180ml에서 200ml 정도의 물, 미지근한 물로 준비하셔야 합니다. 그리고 이런 볼과 뒤집개와 스패츌라 저렇게 2개 준비하시고, 그리고 프라이팬을 준비해 주시면 됩니다.
천천히 하거나
따뜻한 물을 볼에다가 부어주세요. 미지근한 물입니다. 180ml를 부어주시고요. 그 다음에 이 건조 이스트 4g을 넣어주시면 됩니다. 한 봉지를 다 넣어주시면 됩니다. 자, 모두 넣어주시면 됩니다. 이제 잘 저어주셔서 반죽해 주시면 됩니다. 5분에서 10분 정도를 반죽해 주세요. 자, 그 다음에는 식용유를 손에다가 비벼 주셔서 이제 잘 반죽을 해 주신 다음에 저 밀가루 반죽을 호떡 8개를 만들 것입니다. 식용유를 손에 충분히 발라서 해주셔야 손에 잘 붙지 않습니다. 호떡용 잼 믹스를 종제기 같은 곳에 부어주신 다음에 호떡을 만들 건데요. 저렇게 만두를 빚듯이 한 주먹 크기로 벌려서 저렇게 해서 호떡을 모양을 만들어 주세요. 자, 후라이팬에 식용유를 좀 둘러주시고요. 만들어진 호떡을 후라이팬 위에 올려주세요. 자, 그리고 후라이팬을 달궈주신 다음에 호떡을 잘 익도록 구워주시면 됩니다. 밑에 면이 익기 시작했을 때 이 뒤집개로 꾹 눌러서 호떡 모양을 만들어 주시면 됩니다. 기름을 살짝 묻혀서 사용해 주세요. 이렇게 호떡이 완성되었습니다. 맛있게 드세요. 아벨아, 오늘 말씀에서 예수님이 이 빵을 가지고 많은 사람들을 배부르게 먹인 것처럼 이 빵과 물고기를 볼 때마다 예수님을 믿고 예수님께로 가면 예수님께서 아벨이의 영혼이 배고프지도 않고 목마르지도 않은 그런 영원한 생명을 주실 것을 믿으세요. 아멘. 아멘. 자, 호떡 먹으면서 예수님 생각하세요. 뜨거워.